Hi everyone, as you know, the xTool M2 has officially been released and you are seeing a lot of content being pushed out. But I actually wanted to show you how to make a larger project. And what I am doing here is I am cutting out Baltic birch wood, and it actually has a sticky adhesive on the back so I don't have to glue these pieces onto the larger wood board that I will be placing this on. So I am using a power of 100 and a speed of 3. This video is sped up just 2 times, so it's not, too much faster than what it actually is. This did take me about 17 minutes to cut out. But this machine does phenomenal work when it's cutting out. Some of my pieces did stick due to the backing on there. It was just the adhesive sticking back to itself. So I did have to push some of them on through. But this machine is absolutely amazing. The cutting power it has for a 10-watt diode has blown me away. This is a great beginner machine. This is a great machine for people who just do DIY. You can cut fabrics with this machine. You can make stickers with this machine because it does have a print module, which I don't have right now, but I am getting it. This machine is also for anybody who, say, doesn't have a big enough space to put a larger gantry system in their house. So that this machine would be geared towards somebody like you. It does have its place for even the advanced crafters out there, where you can cut fabric and then you can sew your fabric together like you're making a purse or a pillow or a table runner or anything like that. You'd be able to cut your fabric and cut it into the shapes, easy peasy, no problem. So as you can see here, this is almost finishing up, and I am going to show you guys how I did the rest of it and the finished product at the end. But I do want to go over the camera system in here. The camera system, there's a few different cameras, so there's different angles, and it's extremely accurate. So when you close the lid, it'll automatically take a picture of the bed, and then you just autofocus, and it just works perfectly. As you can see here, I'm just staining my wood. I did pre-sand this prior to recording. And I'm just adding some stain, and it's gonna, just give it that pop of color. I did spray paint my pieces. Also, they are white, so it's really gonna pop against this. And I just sanded all the sides, and then I stained all the sides as well, front and back. And then I placed all my pieces about where I want them. And I used this, I don't know the exact name for it, but it's kind of like a ruler. That way all the pieces would be the same at the highest point of the pieces, going across each of the dogs. I also do the same thing for the names when you see them going down. What you don't see that I didn't record is I did measure all the spacing. So all the spacing is perfectly measured in between. They have the same distance on each end for the last dog, and then the middle dog is separated the same space between the end dogs. So all I'm doing here is I'm just moving them where I need them to be. I do end up bringing that G a little bit down a little further, as you've seen, and just making sure it all lines up perfectly before I take the adhesive tape off the back and stick it down. I also didn't press it down firmly right away because I wanted to make sure it was going to be positioned exactly where I wanted it to be. So I just kind of placed it until I was satisfied with where it was going. And again, I am using that piece just to make sure that it's going to be perfectly aligned with the top. And again, I just lightly press those down there so it's not adhering right away, because once you use a tape like 3M or Dual Tight, it's going to stay there forever. So again, I just lightly placed it. And I did that going across all of them. Once I was done doing all that and I was happy with the placement, I did end up adding some hooks, and I have 2 different hooks on here. One single one, and then I did a couple of double ones. So the single ones are like the dog tails, and I just screwed those in with a powered drill. And it was as easy as that. I do have hooks on the back that I did not record doing it, and that is how it will be hung on the wall. This piece is, like I said, it's for dog leashes for my house because I needed a new one. And there are my dogs happy, sitting and waiting.